So we have a recurring segment on our channel called Daily Biden Gaffes, where we go through what Joe Biden is saying in the media and we highlight the mistakes, the gaffes, to show that these aren't just one-offs. This isn't just good old Uncle Joe. These are a trend. This is a sign of serious mental decline. So last week we put together a compilation video led off by the pure gibberish from Joe Biden. If you want to check that video out, I'll leave it in the description. But we want to do a second video because he's been out and about doing more of these terrible interviews. So we have to fact check him and point out the gaffes once again. So this first clip, I thought last week's gibberish was bad, but this one is a close second. This is Joe Biden's gibberish.
Case we cannot let this. We've never allowed any crisis from the Civil War straight through to the pandemic of 17, all the way around 16. We have never let our democracy take second fiddle. We can both have a democracy and elections and at the same time correct the public health.
Okay, so we're going to play that again. But the biggest takeaways are that Joe Biden thinks that the Spanish flu of 1918 happened in 1917. He then corrects himself and says 16. Then he uses the phrase sakes second fiddle. I've heard of play second fiddle. I've never heard of sakes second fiddle. Way they. Don't know what that means. Let's listen to this one more time.
The case where we cannot let this. We've never allowed any crisis from the Civil War straight through to the pandemic of 17, all the way around 16. We have never let our democracy take second fiddle. We can both have a democracy and elections and at the same time correct the public health.
Yeah, so that's just Joe. He has the ideas, but he can't really seem to get them out. Here's another clip from another interview he did where Joe Biden forgets the question that was just asked to him.
You asked the third part of your question related to whether or not, what was the third part of your question, actually? You asked three pieces.
Yep.
So we've all experienced this. We've all felt this where you're asked a bunch of questions and you forget it. But we're going to watch this again because this is a really, really bad look.
The case we cannot
the
let
third part of your question related
we've
to
never allowed
whether or
any
not,
crisis from the Civil War straight through to the pandemic of 17, all the way around 16. We have never let our democracy take second fiddle. We can both have a democracy and elections and at the same time correct the public health.
Calling the Chinese coronavirus nothing but a bad flu. Now, when Donald Trump compared it to the flu, the media went crazy, accused him of lying, of spreading misinformation. But when Joe Biden does it, apparently it's okay because, in case you didn't know, he's a Democrat and Democrats can't be wrong.
But these things are called, there's a virus. And a virus is what we're dealing with now. It's a particularly lousy kind of virus. It's like flu on steroids. It's a really bad kind of flu.
Yeah, so first of all, I don't know why his wife is in. They call it Dr. Jill Biden, but she's not a doctor of medicine. I believe she's a doctor of education. So I don't know why she's started joining his interviews. I guess she's doing moral support, but it's disingenuous. I won't accuse them of trying to pass her off as a medical doctor, but saying that she's Dr. Jill Biden when he's doing these live stream, these podcasts about a plague. It would seem a little bit more honest to present her as Jill Biden, PhD, just to avoid the confusion. But yeah, again, Joe Biden, we don't need Joe Biden to educate us that it's a virus. We already know that, right? But to say that it's just a bad flu, again, when Trump said that, the media pounced all over him and accused him of basically trying to present it as not that big of a deal. But when Joe Biden does it, no one cares. So this next clip is Joe Biden forgetting the word coronavirus. Now, I've had people in my family who have had dementia, and one of the early signs of dementia is people grasping for the right word and they can't find it. Words that they really should know, memories that they should remember, names that they should remember, and it's really sad. So to see Joe Biden grasping for the word coronavirus and it not coming out, it does concern me a lot. Let's watch. This is Joe Biden forgetting the word coronavirus.
Well, look, what I have been saying is that he's moving too slow. The virus is not his fault. But the response is his responsibility.
So I mean, we chronicle these gaffes because they're important, because they happen and it's important that people know about them. But this makes me sad because he wants to be president of the United States, but he can't get the word coronavirus out. Now, listen, I understand hydroxychloroquine. Like, even I can't get that out. Like, the actual medical names, the really hard words to get out. I understand that, right? I completely get that. But coronavirus is now just part of our language. Everyone knows that word. It's really sad to see Joe Biden grabbing for it, but then he can't seem to get it. Here's Joe Biden trying to figure out if he's supposed to talk, and then praising people for podcasts that he's clearly never watched.
And, we're happy to see all of you.
Am I supposed to say something now?
Yeah, you can say something.
Well, hi, everybody. It's great to see you all. You have really great podcasts, all the families.
So, come on. Does anyone really think that this guy has watched their podcasts? Right? Sure, it's funny. Am I supposed to talk now? That's funny. But does anyone seriously think that Joe Biden is watching these people's podcasts? He just figured out where the camera was on his computer a couple days ago. Right? He had been admitting that he wasn't even looking at the camera all this time. Does anyone really think that he's watching other people's podcasts? Does anyone really think he knows how to download a podcast? No, there's no way. So this next clip, it's actually 3 clips back to back to back. It's over the evolving number of grandchildren that the Bidens admit to having. Here is Joe Biden on the Jimmy Fallon on the Tonight Show saying that he has 5 grandchildren.
How are your grandkids? Are you talking to them?
Yeah, I talk to them every single day. I've been doing that forever, though. There's a deal we have. I have 5 grandchildren, and every single day I either talk to them or we text.
So that's not true. Joe Biden does not have 5 grandchildren. So then on that other little live stream, Jill Biden chimed in and said they have 6 grandkids. Again, not true.
So my name is Jill, and this is my husband, Joe. And your children may not know, but we have 3 children and we have 6 grandchildren.
So again, not true. The Bidens have 7 grandchildren. Of course, they're forgetting Hunter Biden's latest addition to the family.
A DNA test released today confirms presidential candidate Joe Biden's son is the biological father of an Arkansas woman's child.
So just as a simple fact check, since the mainstream media loves to fact check us and other conservative outlets, have to fact check Joe Biden. No, Joe, you do not have 5 grandchildren. Jill, no, you do not have 6 grandchildren. You 2 have 7 grandchildren. This has been proven by science. The DNA test results are back. And Hunter Biden did father a 7th grandchild for you. So just wanted to clear that up in case they think that we're not noticing. So let me know what you think about these. We want to keep putting these out. Which of these gaffes or mistakes do you think was the worst, the most telling? Let us know in the comment section below. And please give us a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe and hit the bell for notifications because it really helps us as we grow the channel. Thanks.